I'm going to take you back in time for a while. More specifically to the year 1988. This was the year that the Smiths disbanded. Sinead O'Connor put out The Lion and the Cobra. This was also the year that I put this up in my local train station. It reads, bass player named Stefan Olsdal, Swedish, 14 years old, likes heavy metal, is looking for a band. Call for more information. Can speak French and English. Lives in Bettange, close to Dieppach, will be on vacation between the 15th of August to the 23rd of August. So I kind of laugh at this now, but back then it was the only way for me to find a band. But you can see that my optimism didn't really pay off, but their loss, right? Cue to 1994. This is the year that we sadly lost Kurt Cobain, but we gained a debut album by Jeff Buckley called Grace, which is absolutely amazing. It was also the year that I got this. This is a piece of paper with Brian's phone number on it. We bumped into each other by accident in a tube station in London, and I had a guitar strapped to my back. And he was playing a gig that weekend. So he said, why don't you come down? Give me a call. So he gave me this number. And lucky for me, he was in the day that I called and told him that I wanted to come down. Because back then, the only way of communicating with people, if it wasn't face-to-face, it was over the phone. A phone with a landline fixed in a home. So this piece of paper is very important to me. We started a band, and we wrote songs in his front room in South London. Quite dingy, not as nice as this. We basically wrote the album as a two-piece and proceeded to have our first gig that same year as a two-piece. And digging through my archives, I found this. This is our very first set list, handwritten by Brian. So most of these songs kind of fell by the wayside. Some were re-recorded, some ended up recorded as demos and put as B-sides as well. But the only one that we continue to play to this day is this one, Teenage Angst. It was played on guitar, electric guitar, on the first album, played by Brian, but I'm going to try to replicate it. I'll try to get as close as I can.
We're Placebo, and this is Teenage Angst.
So that's how we played it, the rock version, as we like to call it, until we got asked more and more to do so-called unplugged sessions or acoustic sessions. So we decided to do a mellower version, a kind of more cabaret version, I suppose. And we did that on the piano. And it's one right here. And it sounded a bit like this.
One fluid gesture like stepping back in time, trapped in amber, petrified. I'm still not satisfied.
I think it works beautifully on the piano. Going through all this old memorabilia that I have, it brought me back to the day that Brian called up and said, "Hey Steph, come over, I've got a new song." And I went to his flat and he said, "Listen to this." So he took out a bass, something quite similar to this, a Fender Jazz bass, and he started to play the song. And I fell in love with it. But throughout all the years, we've never played it with the bass being the main instrument or the leading instrument. So now going back out on the road again and still wanting to play Teenage Angst, we're doing a new version. But the new version is actually inspired by the way I heard it the very first time Brian played it for me. So here you go.